So, so what causes a lot of the self-hatred, self-image part is what we call value judging and comparing. So when we judge other people or we compare ourselves to other people, we're never going to measure up because there's always going to be more successful people above us, less successful people below us. And if we can't accept that, then we're never going to be able to feel secure in ourselves, right? In other words, if the if the ideal is to be a billionaire like some of the billionaires out there, and I can't be happy just making a few $100,000 a year or whatever, then I'm going to have trouble feeling good about myself, right? But if I can accept the fact that this is where I'm supposed to be, this is what I'm supposed to make, it's kind of a spiritual acceptance, then I can feel good about the fact that I'm comfortable, I'm doing well, I'm doing a lot better than I used to do. There's always ways to talk myself into it in other words, looking at it from the positive side rather than the negative side. Glass being half full versus half empty. So, what happens to them? What happens to the person that constantly judges and compares themselves? They feel lonely, empty. Um, they feel shame, like I'm not good enough. I should have done this. I shouldn't have done that. And if I would have done that, then I would be more successful, or then I would be happier. So when you do that kind of judging and comparing, then you just don't measure up within your own mind, and then you don't feel good about yourself. You feel anxious, you feel depressed, and then again, that can lead you to go off and find ways to feel better about yourself and just to feel better physically and emotionally. So the way you get people to get the positive self-esteem and positive self-respect is on the bottom of the chart. It says faith, hope, love, and TUA. So faith, like I was talking about before, you have to have faith that where you are in life, how much you make, where you are, what you have is what you're supposed to have. And that's the only way really that you can feel a sense of security. I'm not reliving my past. I'm not worrying about my future. I'm living for today, and I'm going to take care of what I got to do today. And tomorrow I'll worry about tomorrow. Hope is part of that. Love, showing love to other people, showing love to ourselves. And then TUA is total unconditional acceptance. Total unconditional acceptance. So in other words, which is difficult, but total unconditional acceptance is where I accept the fact that you might be different than me. I accept the fact that as a partner, I can have a different opinion than you and we still can get along. Or, I can love you and I can be mad at you at the same time. So there's this constant difference or this part of I love this part of you, but I can't stand this part of you. But in the big picture, I want to be together. So it's a matter of I accept you for who you are, even though we have differences. And so that's within a relationship, but it's also within work or just other regular relationships too. Do I accept people for who they are, or am I constantly judging and comparing myself to those people, right? In a negative way. Well, I'm better than that person because I do this and he or she does this. You see what I'm saying? So it all kind of works together. Now, the point is that acceptance does not mean approval. In other words, I can still accept you. It doesn't mean I'm approving of what you do necessarily, but I'm accepting you as a human being, as a non-perfect human being, just like I am, and just like everyone is. So that's a really clear distinction there of the difference that when I and it also goes kind of like for forgiveness, right? I can forgive. Forgiveness does not mean approval. It doesn't mean it was okay what you did to me. That's not what it is. It's a matter of I don't want to hold on to this burden of not forgiving you, of holding on to resentments. So I'm going to let it go. But it doesn't mean I'm saying what you did was okay. Same thing with acceptance. I accept you for who you are. It doesn't mean that I approve of everything you're doing, just like you may not approve of everything I'm doing.